considered on individual merit. Like the CBN guideline also says, some of these, if they are to be considered for future loans, CBN must be involved in reviewing each case. I think that's the way we should go about it, rather than making a blanket ban.
The federal government last week commenced the disbursement of the 220 billion naira MSME fund. Now, in your view, what do you think about this move, especially when we look at the fact that the country needs to grow the industrial sector?
It's a good move. It's the way to go. MSME funds of 220 billion naira, which CBN is giving about 60% of the funds to the women business group. Is the way to go. I believe it should be encouraged. I am not sure if 220 billion will be adequate. The other area we should look at is the rate of interest for the fund, at least. It should, I believe, single digit has been contemplated. I think it's the way to go. It's a good one. It's welcome.
Some other challenges that are facing business owners, especially those in the industrial sector, have been pointed out to include red taping and also bureaucracy. What's your view about this?
Yes, the view I have is not going to be different from the findings that came out of a study carried out by SCCI, which was sponsored by CIP, Center of International Private Enterprise. This was carried out very recently. It shed some light into the red tapeism and bureaucracy in our system, most especially as it relates to regulatory agencies like the SUN, NAFDAC, the kind of challenge businesses are having, like the issue of the two agencies cross-carpeting, that is, what each one is doing, the other is checking it or not accepting the work done by the other, that is duplication of activities. This is not good for businesses, and when you look at it, the kind of work they do is somehow frustrating the business communities. Like, say, for instance, the number of visits they pay to factories in a year, as many as minimum of 4, sometimes 10 from SUN, and depending on the kind of products you are dealing in, the collection of samples, that may even be more than what is required. The NAFDAC inspection agencies not seeing things through at first time they are checking. These are given the business communities some challenges.
What are your members telling you in relation to specific sectors in terms of the challenges in specific sectors of the economy?
Yes, we have those that are related to food and drugs, pharmaceutical. We have their own issues. We have general issues that relate to importation, whereby you need some certificates to get goods imported into the country, and the kind of fee you are required to pay. The time it takes you to get some of these things done. For instance, you must get registered your products before you can import some raw materials for them. And even when you are importing the raw materials, you must get, say for instance, from the SUN side, you must get SUNCAP certificates, which if you don't get, your import may not be allowed to be cleared at the port. NAFDAC needs to regulate or control or register your products before you start manufacturing it. These are some of the things.
There are concerns about the standard of products that we are churning out in the country in terms of manufacturing now. When we compare this with the level of standards of products that are being imported into the country, what is your view about this?
Yes, thank you very much. I don't think there is any country that hasn't got its own standards. And Nigerian standards, I believe, is tailored towards international standards. Like we have in the steel, is tailored towards European standard, and in some areas you have some that are tailored to professional standards that Nigeria is part of. I think when you talk of standard, Nigeria has its own standards, which is well spelled out and is well known to the business community or manufacturers, so to say. But the unfortunate thing is the general public or the lay people may not know these standards, and such that when you are buying, we are being shortchanged with the kind of quality we get. And unfortunately, again, the lay people, the common man, they don't know the difference. All they just see is the product. They go for it. Before you know it, the product won't do what is expected, like in the drug. When you buy a drug that is supposed to heal an ailment, you continue using, you don't see results. That's the kind of thing we go through.
Infrastructure is key to industrial growth. Now, the Nigeria Industrial Revolution Plan was launched early in this year, and there's been the plan to turn around the economy by improving on industrial development. Now, to what extent do you think that this plan can be achieved?
Yes, I believe it can be achieved very well the way it is being pursued or being approached. After the launching by the president in February, a presidential advisory committee was set up, and this committee has been meeting. We are going to meet again on Monday, where we are discussing how to make success of the program. And we believe we shouldn't get it wrong this time around. And I believe with the way the Minister of Trade and Industry and the co-chairman Aliko Dangote are steering the committee, I'm more than too sure we are going to get it right. So many things being put in place. Like I said, we've had about two meetings of the committee. We've been addressed by the Minister of Energy, the Minister of Transportation, to let us know where we are with regards to energy transformation, the transportation, and I believe the way we are going about it, we are going to get it right on this occasion.
Let's talk about the trade fair that's coming up. What do you think that Nigeria should expect from the trade fair?
You should expect the best fair so far, since we've been organizing the fair, because on this occasion, the chamber has invested so much in the facilities we are going to use at the fair. We are importing 2 marquee tents, which we used to rent in the past. Now we are having our own, and you can be very sure the setting will be nothing but international. And the cheering news is that Nigeria has been able to conquer Ebola. So if by now we are having only 1 case of Ebola, you can be very sure by October, when the school children are even resuming, Ebola would have gone, not to talk of November, when we are having the trade fair. So we want to assure our exhibitors and the international communities that nothing to fear about with regards to Ebola. And I want to say the security situation is under a serious control. And good thing, it's not this part of the country we are even having that challenge. So by and large, it's going to be our best fair so far.
And finally, we have just a few months to the end of the year. What do you expect that the government should do within this short period of time, just about 4 months or less? What do you think that they should be doing in terms of growing the economy?
Yes, the way the committee is going about it is the industrialization is being addressed sectorally. We have different sectors of the economy handled by different committees, and when these committees come up, I want to say the way we are going about it, we are looking at what you can call a quick fix that we can act on immediately. And I believe with this, before the year runs out, you will see a serious, a positive development in the industrialization move.
At this point, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Remi Bello, for your time on the program.
Thank you very much, Paula. You are most welcome.
And before we go on the show, let's bring you some tidbits. Starting a business with a partner. First, ask yourself, do I really need a business partner to build a successful company? Taking on business partners should be reserved for when a partnership is critical to success. Say, when the prospective partner has financial resources, connections, or vital skills you lack. You may be better off hiring the other person as an employee or an independent contractor. Get to know your potential partner and learn about his or her personal and professional values, ideas, and goals. If you haven't worked together previously, test the partnership out by tackling a small project together that showcases each other's skills and requires cooperation. This is also a way to learn about each other's personality and core values. Consult a lawyer and an accountant to draw up a written partnership agreement. People with strong personal connections may feel certain that the supposedly unbreakable bond will help them overcome any obstacles along the way. And that's what we're all on the program. We do appreciate your time with us. In the meantime, you can send us your comments, your questions, and of course your thoughts to Business Incorporated at channelstv.com. You can also join me on Twitter. Thank you for watching. I am Bolaji Akinwale. Bye for now.